Hi, good morning. Okay, I hope everyone can understand English. Shoko Chinese lang. Okay. So today, I was invited to talk about pain medicine and palliative care. For everyone, this is actually fairly new subspecialty. No? A lot of doctors doesn't know that there is actually pain medicine because it's fairly new, and we're actually mga 140 pa lang in the whole Philippines. So let me introduce to you that how we redefine pain relief. I always tell my patients that um, I wanted to my patients to experience pain relief because when they get old, kawakaw, po it's a he, kao it's a he. I want them walking, no, able to do tai chi like what we did a while ago, not sitting on at home alone, or kailangan palagi may assist for them to walk. So yun yung goal natin as as we grow old, we have to be functional, no? Hindi tayo dependent with other people. But today we are going to discuss an integrative, actually, four-pillar approach to biopsychosocial pain management. What does it mean? There are a lot of things that we can do to help with pain, and one management is not enough. Di siya not enough. The Tongtsuge procedure, it's usually not enough. It's a combination of so many things to keep a patient pain-free and functional. But I have nothing to disclose in this lecture, and I will just want to discuss that pain, according to the International Association of Pain worldwide, they define pain not just a physical symptom. It's a sensory and emotional experience. So if pain is actually not just physical na nararamdaman mo, knee is painful, no? There's also anguish because of pain, or there's depression because titya aupya tiya, buhat ng kyalo. So it's also an emotional experience associated with or resembling that associated with actual or potential tissue damage. So hard to understand, no? It just means that whether there is tissue damage, whether di injury or no injury, no one can say that you don't have pain. It is the right of the person to say, I'm pain. Even if you do MRI, takhang Jose naman, totoo bang may pain? We cannot we cannot dismiss that feeling. We cannot dismiss and say na, oh, this person, nagjo-joke lang yan, or psychological lang yung pain niya. Because pain is also emotional, and it is associated with actual, if there is tissue damage or no tissue damage. So in the world, there's actually $560 billion lost productivity because of people with pain. Because you have pain, you stay at home, you don't want to work, right? And 50 million adults experience chronic pain. What does chronic pain mean? The pain that lingers for months, more than 3 months, more than 6 months. So they stay in one corner of their house because they're in pain. So there's lost productivity, no? In bolang chicha, bolang chong, in a gardening because of pain. So what is the problem right now? We have to actually have a duty. So for pain management, no, to balance the beneficence, the duty to relieve pain versus avoiding the harm and the risk of addiction in taking the medication. We have to balance that. My next few slide is quite heavy. It will tell us the problem in our society right now. So as we all know, because pain management is fairly new in the Philippines, we have actually a very big problem. So as you can see, over 61 million people experience serious health-related suffering annually. And 80% live in the low and middle income country. Ito tayo. We live here in the low and middle income country. As you can see, the medications for pain, yung mga strong medications, I'm talking about those with why utokdu, mga cancer. Their medications are quite heavy, yung mga morphine, fentanyl. In the United States, it's oversupply, 3,150% met. In Canada, it's 3,090% met. But look at in the low middle income country where we are included. We actually get less than 1% of the required supply of the world. Kaya kawawa, no? Yung mga low middle income country. No one imports the medication, kulang. So people are suffering here. If you can see here, we get actually less than 1 milligram per capita of the medication versus why in North America, in Australia, in the US, they get all the medicine. Sa atin, yacho. So what is the estimated national need? For example, I'm just talking about morphine because this is the easiest, but this applies to a lot of drugs. So the requirement is 5.3 milligram per capita. So our deficit is 30 kilograms. That's our deficit. What is the actual delivery? We only get 0.23 milligram. Our need is 5.3 milligrams. We only get 0.3 milligrams. So we are getting 4.4% of our estimated requirement. Okay, so for anyone here who knows a family member who is sick, who has cancer, pain, or taking mga morphine, fentanyl, buying the medicine alone is difficult because at the end of the month, pupunta na sa iba-ibang mercury, right? To search for the medication. So that's one of our biggest problem. Aside from that, so this is like the Philippine reality. Aside from the clinical burden that there is no enough drug, there's also, the doctors also what are opiophobic or the lanchoy lang ya opiophobic. What does it mean? We're afraid of the opioid. Why? Because sa Western world, sa US, ya tsoy lang sikia incha morphine, di ba? Ya tsoy lang. That's what we called opioid crisis. In the Philippines, we experience the opposite of the opioid crisis. We don't have anything. So, unless your patient is taking yung mga easy to get like shabu, marijuana, mahirap maging addict sa Philippines kasi wala ngang supply. Okay? Very, very little supply. So what happens to us? Because we don't know how, a lot of doctors actually doesn't know how to refer to pain management also. So we're stuck with, kunwari, your knees are painful, ay ganyan talaga, it's part of your disease. Or if you have back pain, they'll say, oh, that's part of life. Filipinos get stuck. No, we don't jump to the next level where we can actually treat pain. So sa high income country, pain relief, they restore their function. In the low middle income country, we suffer intractable chronification and invisible suffering. What is invisible suffering? No one knows you're in pain. Oh, can we have a raise of hand? Who's in pain right now? Who has pain right now? Right? So those are invisible pain. It means no one knows that you're in pain, but you still have to go on with your life. Okay? So how does that happen? Para maintindihan natin, no? Let us learn how pain happens. We have two kinds of pain, acute and chronic. Acute pain is okay lang. Sige, yasho, tsuy. You remove it, wala nang pain, right? You get appendicitis, no? The appendix get inflamed. Kay kwatse, kay chashoka, wala na. That is acute pain. What is chronic pain? Pialit niya, 3 months na, masakit pa rin. 6 months na, 2 years na, yat pa din. That is chronic pain. Start from the hand, go to the spinal cord, then go to the brain. Okay? We get a little piece of this one, the nerve. It becomes like this. Okay? When we have pain, what happens? That is a nerve, no? To make it easy, that is a nerve. Naturally, pag may masakit, it will release mga neurotransmitters. It will release. And then, it will go to the receptor. And then, it will say, oh, may pain. Remove your hand. Okay? So, what do? You put medication here. You cover this so that this one will not go through. Right? But if we treat pain, okay na, magaling na. But if we do not treat it, what will happen? This one is, so ito, if there is pain, papasok siya dito, dinatsayo. Buhat ng diakilo. Botyalo, right? But if there is chronic pain, it means masakit yung tuhod mo, may arthritis, tuloy-tuloy, papasok. If tuloy-tuloy papasok, everyday may pain. If everyday may pain and you do not cover it, this one, the magic NMDA receptor, gets damaged. So the permanent magnesium, if you've heard na, oh, yung magnesium nakakatulong sa pain, no? If you dip in magnesium, the permanent magnesium, this one, gets damaged. No? Pag na-damage siya, what will happen? The magnesium will be removed. Pag na-remove siya, non-stop papasok na. So your acute pain becomes chronic pain. Tianya o pain, no matter what. So if you have pain, you have to treat it or else it will become chronic. Tianya tihalo. Okay? And you become a silent pain patient. No? Now, how do we treat? That's medyo heavy. Let's make it lighter. How do we treat pain? So, I changed the color of the slides para medyo kalmado naman na. So, we have 4 pillars of comprehensive care. Of course, the first one is medical and pathological. When we give medications, right? Number 2 is neurological and psychological. When the mind, no, the cognitive behavior, the emotions, you treat it so that you can treat pain. Then nutrition and lifestyle. And then integrative and palliative. These are for those who are with severe diseases. So let's go to pillar 1. The pillar 1, in pillar 1, we will be able to treat pain by knowing the clinical typology of pain. So paano ba natin describe yung pain? There is nociceptive pain, yun yung sharp, stinging, dull, throbbing. So ito yung mga osteoarthritis, sakit, parang nagtathrob, no? Or dull pain, hindi mo ma-explain. Buhat ng explain. No? Basta letyan lang. How do you explain it? Basta letyan lang. Buhat ng kung. Or parang nagbo-bone to bone. That is nociceptive pain. The second one, neuropathic pain, is the harder one to treat. Yung parang utin. Di ba di na honge yaku andi ka. Di na kaya parang uhya lepe. Yun yung neuropathic type of pain. Or minsan parang may shooting, no? Merong electric light. Or minsan parang kakasyo na o kaya malamig. That is neuropathic type of pain. Anyone with neuropathic type of pain? So, the last type is nociplastic. This is harder to treat. Yun yung paktolet niya, pero di kay MRI, bosyami, di kay CT scan, walang makita. Lahat na ginawa, endoscopy, colonoscopy, bosyami, no? Functional type of pain. That one is harder to treat. Despite describing the 3 types of typology of pain, we must recognize that pain is not just physical. It is 4-dimensional. We call it total pain. It encompasses physical, that was what I mentioned a while ago. We have depression, so you lost social role. Di buhat ng kun, may insomnia. Tiyan niya parang bolat, kasi yatya. Anxiety, financial worry, di buhat ng sit because you have pain. Anger, frustration, kasi pachayo pa bueho kiya. So it's a total pain. So what is true healing? True healing requires addressing all of that. You cannot just give pain medication physical. You have to address all of those. Okay? Aside from the typology, we can describe pain as either cancer or non-cancer pain. Okay? Cancer pain, we know that it's from the tumor or from the chemotherapy, from the radiation. Those all can cause pain from the iyo na kinakain. We also have non-cancer pain. Non-cancer pain, ito yung mga arthritis, yung mga neuropathic pain that I mentioned a while ago. The nociceptive and neuropathic type of pain. Those are non-cancer pain. So, ano yung goal? Of course, pag cancer pain, iba yun. Ibang usapan. Aggressive, immediate symptom control and comfort. That's why we give strong medicine like morphine, fentanyl, if needed. Non-cancer pain, we shy away from that. Almost no opioid. If pwedeng wala, we don't give. Because our goal is long-term functional recovery, rehabilitation, and restoring activities of daily living. You have to go back able to walk again, do Tai Chi with your friends. So pag cancer pain, it's actually, I don't know if anyone has relatives here with cancer. So pag cancer pain, if that's the bone, no? An example, if that's the tumor, it will release mga inflammatory markers, no? Mga inflammation that will cause pain. And cancer pain, aside from the takdit o pain law, everyday may persistent background pain, meron pa silang mga incident pain. For example, na-control mo, may pain siya, 6 to 7 over 10. Di hoy, yo, round the clock para wala yung 6 out to 7 out of 10. Aside from that, meron pa maya-maya biglang merong incidental pain. Those are what we call cancer pain. That's how you treat it. How about non-cancer pain? Non-cancer pain beyond oncology must focus on terminal trajectories to holistic rehabilitation. So non-cancer pain can present as nociceptive. This is what I mentioned a while ago already. Nociceptive like mga arthritis, sports injury, soft tissue damage. Neuropathic like why o diabetes, neuropathy, radiculopathy, no? Very difficult terms. Basta yung parang electric-like, no? Pins and needles, cold, warm, those are neuropathic type of pain. And centralized type of pain, yung mga chronic migraine, siya nga migraine pa at this age. May nagma-migraine pa here. So mga chronic migraine, yung mga chronic shoulder pain, those are the centralized type of pain. Another source of pain is the lingering type of pain. What is that? Kwa daw you thought you'll get better. But eventually, the pain doesn't go away after kwa. Sakit pa rin all the time. So after mag-acute surgery, tuloy-tuloy, hindi na nawala. Meron pa rin siyang pain. So even if we give pain medications, it's really not enough. So why is pharmacology not enough? The first line medication we give mga, usually they give mga NSAIDs, no? Celecoxib, Arcoxia, those that you know, no? Dolfenal. They intercept the tissue signal. So pag binigay mo, block dito, o di hindi na mag-travel. However, the medication fails to address the brain's role. No, the brain, it carries emotions, perception. No? So the neuromatrix theory said that it's not just a passive transmission of tissue damage, it is an output of the brain. So it means that you have to target even the patient's memory. Okay? Because the memory of pain lingers. And the patient gets so scared, ayoko na ma-experience that kind of pain again. Okay? So you have to address not just the physical pain, but also the emotional lingering pain in the brain. So how do we do that? How do we do that? We go to pillar 2. Pillar 2 is mind-brain connection. So the psychosocial variables are the strongest predictor of pain chronification. If the patient, I know some of you would know people like, goya kawawa oh. Go hongay bolat. Go bo ay ko tekyalo. Go bo ay ki church. Go bo ay ki mall. Okay, those are called catastrophizing. If you have that kind of, that's called pain, pinipredict niya, no, na this person, if the attitude is like that, the more that the pain will become chronic. But if the patient is, go wahat ng, gabit kya, go kinabe, beki mall, go kinabit suki, gabit tong gardening, then the pain usually goes away fast. So, a nociceptive signal can actually catastrophize fear. So, kunwari may pain, and then you say, this pain, something is terribly wrong. So, ano mangyayari? Ma-amplify yung anxiety. The more na you say na, gabuhat, di anxious lo. Nako, gabuhat. So, di bobet tintanga. Avoidance and inactivity. Kasi, hindi ko kaya. So, sa couch lang, upo lang the whole day. And then what will happen? That will cause increase in pain. And the cycle goes on and on. Okay? So, how do we prove this? Actually, functional MRI showed that pain perception temporarily fluctuates based on self-generated experience. Di nakahwahi, you're happy, you're laughing, you're doing something, exercising, doing Tai Chi, your brain produces natural natural anti-pain, no? Natural opioid, may natural, nawawala. Kaya yung mga nag-tai chi kanina, yung mga may pain, nabawasan ba? Yeah. 'Di ba? Yung iba na-aggravate, lalong sumakit, no? Pero generally, pag chronic pain, mababawasan. Okay? Because of activity. So we can utilize cognitive structuring to help patients manage mind-brain connection. We educate patient that while we provide treatment, pain is actually part of healing or disease. So we modify unhelpful belief and adapt coping mechanism. It doesn't mean di chulet niya. Tibo ke tintang lo. You still stand up, use the other hand, and try to function the other hand. Of course, with the help of medication, some small procedures. So, we schedule activity pacing. Instead of ditsa, kitak hang betonglo, di ba grocery, kitay chi, lahat-lahat. You pace it. O, kinapay it, gabi kitay chi. After that, yung shaklo. Tomorrow, gabi ki grocery, how many minutes? 30 minutes. Don't do everything in one go. That is activity pacing. Okay? So, you start slow. Kunwari, talaga 5 yat. Yan. O 10 minutes, gabi soy, o nga lang, ganyan. Tapos yung shakts eh. And then do another thing again. Instead of doing everything all at once, sobrang pagod sa hapon, tapos ay, hindi ko talaga kaya. Hindi talaga ako pwede mag-sit. Okay? So, aside from activity pacing, we teach mindfulness to detach emotional distress from physical sensation. Okay? So, that's how you change the mind. Okay? And it requires a lot of counseling. A lot of counseling with the patient to help them do pacing. We give calendars to the patient. No? Binibigyan namin ng calendar. O, today, this is your activity. Tomorrow, this one. No? Para sa progression. What is pillar 3? Pillar 3, ito yung hardest, no? Kasi kakakain lang natin ng halo-halo. So, nutritional therapy. So, chronic metabolic lifestyle disease like obesity or diabetes are rapidly growing, no? Yahat so lang utang dio lo at this time, no? Head up tang dio. So, they are rapidly growing and it is a driver of musculoskeletal pain. The bigger the patient is, the more pain they get. Okay? When systematic inflammation runs, it disrupts the immune system. No? Nasisira yung natural immune system natin and drives inflammation. So, lalong stiff yung joint, lalong sensitive yung nerve, mas maraming neuropathic pain. Okay, what do we want to do? We can still eat, don't worry. We just balance pro-inflammatory diet. Ano yung pro-inflammatory? Sugar, halo-halo. Refined carbohydrates. Processed meat, no? Mga sausage. Fried food, saturated. No? This one is pro-inflammatory. In Chinese, diet and qin. Okay? So that's diet, qin. Okay? You have to be balanced. Yin and yang. Di buhat ng lahat yun. Okay, you have to balance. This has to be 80%, that is 20%. Better, 90%, 10%. Okay? Hindi naman pwedeng hindi kasi na Sunday tsukitsa, alangan ng dibocha, di ba? Itcha, pero tsimay, puamay lang. So, we encourage the Mediterranean diet. Yatso diet lo, di ba, na uso. Sobrang daming diet. But this is still the best. No? We limit red meat and sweets, moderate poultry, fish and omega-3, and high-fiber plant food. Because naturally, pain comes from poor gut flora. No, lanit, pakto is our second brain. This is our first brain. This is our second brain, and it is a bigger brain. Okay? If your gut is poor, you have all the diseases. No? You have diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, mga any inflammatory disease. So we have to balance our gut. How do we make our gut strong? The good bacteria should go up, the bad bacteria should go down. What is the food of the good bacteria? Ayun lang. Yung mga high fiber plant food, the one on the lowest. Okay, that is the food of the good bacteria. Okay? So we aside from that, aside from diet, physical movement. Physical movement has been proven to be very, very effective to reduce pain. It releases natural opioids or natural painkiller and increases yung happy hormones. No? That's why we are able to walk. So we counter fear that the belief that pain requires bed rest, physical activity. Before, when I was still young and not yet a doctor, the belief was, pag di pia tiyaw, di tiyo tole, bed rest for 48 hours. Uso yun dati. Now, no more. Kapag masakit yung likod, di tiyo ko exercise pa. And after operation, before, di ba, I don't know if many will get angry if I say this, di ba, di na sika diyaw, oh, buwet de tintang, tignan tole, tiyo okay, tiyo honge, ganyan. Bawal kasi malalamigan, right? But now it's different, no? Tinakwa diyaw, walk and walk. And the improvement shortens from 1 to 2 months to a week. Okay, the improvement significantly shortens. Now let's bridge the orthopedic gap. Sometimes, di siya hose naman. Dili exercise naman. Lahat na ginagawa mo. Pero yako yatya pa. Mko di bo ay kwa. Bobe kwa. Maraming ganun eh. No? Boko kwa lo. What is in between? If you follow diet, physical therapy, you di siya yo lo. Pero di bo ay kwa. What is in between? We have several things that we can offer to our patient. Steroid injection, but this one, I really shy away from this already because it is effective for mga acute, severe pain, but when you do it repeatedly, it carries thinning of the surrounding tissue, it weakens the tendon, and it can damage the cartilage if you do it lagi-lagi. But for severe pain, we can give it. We can also do prolotherapy. What is prolotherapy? You inject dextrose, sugar, water lang with sugar, dextrose sugar, to the injured muscle or injured joint. Kasi di ba kang di singkukong, or there's an injury again, try to heal it. So that's prolotherapy. Aside from prolotherapy, we also have PRP. So this one, we draw the blood of the patient, we concentrate it, and the one that we concentrated will be re-injected to the joint, trying to stimulate growth factors and regenerate long-term functional improvement. So sa mga may arthritis, frozen shoulder, tendon repair, that's what we do. Recently, may mas bago. Botox. So Botox is for the face, right? Pampaganda. Botox can now be used for pain. So Botox inhibits inflammatory mediators by blocking pain signals at the nerve ending. So it's excellent for mga myofascial pain syndrome, and forcing severe chronically clenched muscles to relax. So Botox can also be used sa mga talagang severe pain that we cannot control. No? Meron kayong kilala may post-herpetic neuralgia, PETSOA, na after PETSOA, yatya pa din. So we use Botox for that para mag-improve, mabawasan yung pain. So the difference is just this one. The time to effect, the steroids, of course, hours to day, prolotherapy weeks, PRP weeks to months, and Botox days. Okay? So those are the things that we can use. How about Pillar 4? Pillar 4 is the integrative and palliative care. Moving beyond curing the disease and explicitly managing the patient's total pain. So palliative care doesn't mean you're dying. Palliative means you are supporting. Meaning, kunwari meron kang pinched nerve for so long, di bobe kwalo. You just take medication and other palliative measures. That's called palliative care. Okay? You have cancer, you don't want chemotherapy, you don't want radiation, you just want comfort care, that is palliative care also. Before, palliative care starts at the end. Lang tibesilo o lang kayo palliative care lo. Now, palliative care starts at the very beginning, at the diagnosis. Okay? So we address physical pain, depression, anger, and bureaucratic delays, and the anxiety of financial and spiritual unrest. So this is what I was saying. Before, palliative care is introduced only when the curative care or treatment failed. Kunwari, the chemo won't work already, so palliative na. Now, it's different. Palliative care is provided alongside with curative treatment. Sabay. At the start. Sabay din sila. Okay? So, when we treat pain, either for non-cancer or cancer pain, we use many medications all together. So as you can see, kanina I said, di ba, papasok yung iba-block ng medicine this one so that the neurotransmitter cannot go in. Right? So when we treat pain, we cannot just give one medication. Why? Because there are a lot of receptors with different colors. It's like treating hypertension. Sometimes di siya, sige, bokaw, di ba? Tiyo siya nang Tapos, utso na siya sahe pa. O kaya natang diyo siya nang sahe. Pain is also like that. You cannot just give one medication and expect wala ng pain. Usually, you mix medication so that all the receptors are covered. So that the neurotransmitter cannot go in to cause pain. Okay? So we mix medications for that. Aside from the medications, there are actually integrative therapies that we can use for our patients. So a part of our interdisciplinary care are the integrative therapies. Vital to understand that these are not just comfort measures. So what can we use? Aromatherapy. You smell the good smells. No, it decreases pain. Naturally decreases pain. Acupuncture also help. Auditory music therapy. When you listen to the good music, the classical music, it alters the pain perception and stress response. So it's not just sabi-sabi. There's actually science into it. So acupuncture would actually trigger the acupoints in the small diameter muscle afferent, go to the spinal cord and to the brain to release natural pain medications, natural opioid. Okay, so acupuncture does work. Kailangan sa real acupuncturist, Huwag yung anywhere lang. And then music therapy also works. Why? When you hear music, it stimulates the limbic system in the brain and the hypothalamus. It also releases endorphins and serotonin or epinephrine. So no more pain, good mood pa. Right? So patients would say that there's really decrease in pain when they do aromatherapy, acupuncture, music therapy. We use sensory tool for neurological interception. So music therapy distracts the brain and modulates the limbic system, allow patients to tolerate painful stimulation significantly longer. So aside from music therapy, the aromatherapy, lavender oil, or sometimes yung mga frankincense oil, it connects directly the amygdala, which is part of the brain that controls emotion to reduce pain and anxiety. Di ba when you go to hotels, tapos you smell the hotel smell, nakaka-relax. Hindi lang yon. You hear the music, someone playing the piano in the hospital, nababawasan yung tension because it naturally decreases pain. So as you can see, there are a lot of things that we can do aside from pain medication. So don't worry if you have pain because there are a lot of things that we can add on to treat it. Group synergy accelerates physical and psychological response. So for example, you did acupuncture, it lowers baseline pain threshold and reduces depression, right? So since after acupuncture, nabawasan yung pain, no? Kabotyan lo. Saki chitiam diki acupuncture. Puetiam kautiam parang kasong tampo. You have a window of relief. The patient experiences temporary, no? It's not permanent. Temporary freedom from severe chronic pain. So anong gagawin mo? Kawakaw, kautiam, o kabotyan lo. Let's do yoga. Or let's do tai chi. Because my pain has decreased. So what happened? You activate the patient, increase confidence of the patient kasi, kaya ko pala. mag-yoga. That leads to sustained movement, preventing musculoskeletal deterioration. Or, if di bo ay mga acupuncture, chayo. Chayo diao o kabot niya o lan kit chong chong le. Song diao, you improve yourself, right? O the afternoon, utya na naman, o chayo na naman. And you move. You don't just let pain eat you up. Okay? This is another thing, grounding, no? I don't know if you've heard of this, but grounding is going near the earth. So it's like when you're going to the beach, di ba, din na siyang Hongdae Beach, ang bilis gumaling. Parang wala pang half day, magaling ka na. Or, di na bo, Songdae Beach, di ka Songki. Because that is grounding. It mimics physical connectivity of walking barefoot on earth to create neutral electric charge in the body. So, our body, may pH tayo, no? 7.35 to 7.45. So, we have to maintain in the middle, 7.40. Kaya lang, because we love to eat McDonald's, we love to eat mga inflammatory food, we go to the medyo acidic side. No, we are not grounded already kasi our houses are buildings, tall buildings. We're very far from the ground. So, medyo nasa acidic side. That is why, mga alkaline water na uso, right? Uso yan, yung mga, this product makes you alkaline. But you can actually naturally make your pH go to the alkaline level. That is by stepping barefoot on the ground. Okay, so that is what we call grounding. So the result is electrons deactivate free radicals, which are known drivers of immune dysfunction and chronic inflammation. So, mas mabilis gumaling. No? It's faster. You take medication, you do grounding, you listen to music, a lot of things all together. This is the most important among all. So aside from nutrition, we learned that the most powerful tool for pain relief is cognitive behavioral therapy. Usually, what do we do? There is pain. So, yung patient sasabihin niya, I am a burden, I don't want to move, so it will increase anxiety. Dahil may anxiety, magta-tighten yung mga muscles, no? Kiplo. And it's a cycle, amplify the pain. CBT will break it. Cognitive restructuring, identify automatic negative thoughts. So CBT, kulang pa tayo sa Philippines. No? There's a lot in other country where the patient will go to a psychotherapist and will try to restructure their brain. No? Talk with them, no? Or think positive. It's hard to do it alone. You need someone to help you to do that, CBT. Simple CBT is like what I told you a while ago, yung may calendar. No? So instead of writing what you did for that day like journal, pabaliktad. So kunwari, today is Sunday, Monday ilalagay mo na, tomorrow, I will carry around 2 kilograms of my bag and then I will go to the mall. So tomorrow, hindi mo nagawa, you put an X. And then, that night, you write again, tomorrow I will do this. So the planning is ahead. One day before, you plan na. Tomorrow I will do this and that. And then you do it. And when you're able to do it, for example, you're able to do 50%, or I will go to the mall for 1 hour. And you're able to do it for 30 minutes. So put at the bottom, I was able to do this for 30 minutes. Tomorrow, I will try 45 minutes. So that is CBT. Just an example. But there are a lot more that we can do for CBT. So we cannot discuss palliative care without discussing family. Together with the different doctors that you go into, the most important still is the family. Kasi yung patient, it's hulay kahit sige, siya nga likoy. Siyempre, family members. We need the family, a very supportive family, who will assist with immediate activities like dressing. No? They will carry the emotional distress. Kunwari, tiyan niya shuki. Tiyan niya mainit yung ulo, di ba? Hindi nang tamwaw. So, they are the ones getting all the burden. Yung iba, the physical therapy, the exercise, music, art, social work, are just the outer ones that will help them. So caregiver support actually sustains immediate care environment. We need a very good family support. So lastly is artificial intelligence. So this is very new. A lot of people are into AI now, no? So anong ginagawa ni AI? Can it help us or can it replace humans? So they have found out that AI can actually decrease pain intensity by 58.9% and decrease level by 68.4%. For patients who are in bed, Piru sedity lying on the four corners of that hospital for 1 week, 2 weeks, so boring, right? Meron na ngayon AI. They put virtual reality and they transport the patient to the beach. Or if they want to go to the church, it will transport them to the church, okay, to improve their function. Sa physical therapy, hindi nila kaya ito lang yung pinapagawa, hindi kaya. They put virtual reality, parang nagte-tennis, kaya na bigla. So that's how virtual reality can help us. So mapping multidimensional target to target intervention. So AI can actually, kunwari, admitted in the hospital and they can detect that, oh, at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, the patient gets, or the AI detects decreased mobility in the PT notes or disruptive sleep with the watch, intelligent watch, they will say disruptive sleep. So AI will recommend, okay, adjust the schedule of morning acupuncture or adjust the baseline pain medication. So AI can detect all of this faster than humans. It also, kunwari, AI detects vocal strain or elevated caregiver stress. So what will it recommend? It will recommend to deploy music therapy for family relaxation. So this is very new. We have a little in the Philippines, but Bicok Katsuela. Okay? So effective pain management is impossible with single treatment. That's what we've learned today. True relief comes from intersection of biological, psychological, systemic, and spiritual intervention, creating a complete biopsychosocial synthesis of patient-centric healing. I always teach that patient is at the center. They are the most important person in the treatment. So when we put it all together, we create an integrated ecosystem. Core discipline, integrated therapy like acupuncture, aromatherapy, psychosocial support, medication, interventions, AI predictive monitoring, to create total pain relief.